Hey everyone, it's Ashley and today I'm bringing you my 7 and 7 Readathon TBR. For those of you who don't know, the 7 and 7 Readathon takes place from July 27th to August 2nd. It is a 7-day readathon where you are supposed to try to read 7 things in 7 days. I will be co-hosting the 7 and 7 Readathon along with Frankie from Instead of Gold and Dana from The Book Hoarder. I will leave both of their channels along with their Twitters linked down below, as well as the 7 and 7 Readathon Twitter, where we will be hosting sprints and kind of boosting morale and potentially hosting like fun challengey things. I don't really know yet. So the whole point of this readathon is to try to read 7 things in 7 days. It's kind of just trying to like take all of the books you own and like read as many as humanly possible in 7 days. If you don't read 7 things in 7 days, that's totally fine. If you don't think that's possible, set your own goals. We're pretty lax with rules. We don't have any kind of like specific challenge rules or anything like that. We kind of just want to like, you know, help you guys read as many things as humanly possible in 7 days. So without further ado, here are all the things that I want to try to get to throughout the readathon. So first of all, we have The 100 Day 21 by Cass Morgan. This is the sequel to The 100, which was the first book in the series. For those of you who watch the TV show, you kind of know the premise, but for those of you who don't, I will let you guys know. It is about a group of 100 kids who get sent down to Earth after a crazy apocalypse has happened on Earth, and for the last hundreds of years people have been living on a spaceship up in space, but now it seems like that spaceship isn't really doing so well, so they're sending people down to Earth to see whether or not it is survivable. And it is about what happens to those 100 kids after they get to Earth. So this is the sequel to the first book. I really liked the first book. It is narrated by 4 different characters, 3 of which are on the ground and 1 of which is still up on the ship, and I really like it. It's quite different from the show, so if you watch the show you probably still enjoy the books because they're actually different enough that you'd still be like, what's going on, what's going on? Also, there is a lot more Bellark shipping going on in the series of books than there is on the TV show. So if you're into that, I think you'd also really like the books. But anyways, these are quick, fun reads, and I think it would be great for a readathon. Next, we have Never Never Part 2 by Colleen Hoover and Taryn Fisher. This book is super short. I don't even know how many pages it is, but I assume it's under 200. Yeah, it's only like 145 pages. I actually received this from a viewer for my birthday, but this is a perfect readathon read because it's so short, and also the first book in this series was so compulsively readable. Like, I read it so quickly, so this would be a wonderful readathon read. Okay, so that is it for like solid books that I plan on reading during the readathon. The rest of them are trade paperback graphic novels or single issues that would eventually compile a graphic novel that I just own in single issues instead of in graphic novel form. So I actually have a lot of graphic novels and issues that I want to try to get to during the readathon that I'm going to show you guys. I actually am currently aiming at reading more than 7 things in 7 days, so we'll see if I can accomplish that. Okay, so first we have Amulet Volume 1. This was a hit on BookTube, I think like last summer. It is about a young girl who moves to a brand new house after losing her father, and there is a secret passageway within the house. And I'm sure crazy adventures ensue. I have read other things by this artist slash writer and I really liked them, so I'm excited to get to this, and I've heard nothing but good things, so yes, I'm very excited. Also, sneak peek at my July graphic novel haul because this is brand new. Actually, a lot of these that I'm about to show you are brand new, so it's kind of like a mini graphic novel haul prior to you actually seeing my graphic novel haul, which I still have to film. Okay, so next we have Miss Marvel Volume 2 Generation Y. I loved the first volume of Miss Marvel, and I actually got about a quarter of the way into this and then realized that it would actually be a great readathon read, so I put it down and I picked something else up and waited for the readathon to start in order for me to get back into this because I am so excited to get into this. And also Volume 3 is already out, so if I love this I can just go pick that up and read that as well. Next we have Thunder Agents. This is written by Nick Spencer, who is also the writer for Morning Glories. I have basically just been reading like anything and everything that I can get my hands on that he has written because I love everything he's written so far. I picked this up a few weeks ago. Again, you haven't seen this yet because I haven't hauled it yet, but I read about 20 pages of this. It's actually a much thicker graphic than most. And then I realized it would also be a wonderful read for a readathon, so I put it down and I'm gonna pick it back up. And this will probably be one of the first graphic reads that I do during the readathon because I'm so excited to get to it. This is about a group of superheroes who are different from most superheroes in the sense that like a government agency actually like handpicks them and like scientifically alters them into becoming superheroes. But the catch is that the superpowers that they are given to use to try to save the world deteriorate them, so the more that they use their powers to save the world, the faster they die. So yes, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Then I want to get to Low Volume 1. This is a brand new Image comic about what happens when the world, like, we have destroyed the earth, which a lot of climate people have told us we're going to do, and we can no longer live on the earth because it is scorched by the sun. So instead people live underground, underwater, like mermaids essentially. So it is about a civilization that is living underwater. I'm really, really excited to get to it. I generally like all Image comics. This was written by Remender and illustrated by Cecchini. Remender did another... Oh, Remender does Deadly Class, I think. I was correct. Remender does Deadly Class, so now I'm super excited about this. I didn't even realize that they were the same writer. So yeah, this is definitely bound to be good. For those of you who have read Deadly Class, you know how awesome Deadly Class is. For those of you who haven't, I highly recommend Deadly Class. But yes, I'm excited to get to this during the readathon, and I'm sure it will be compulsively readable, and I will get through it very, very quickly. And next, I want to read SpiderMan and the X-Men issue number 1, issue number 2, issue number 3, issue number 4, issue number 5, and issue number 6, which together make up the SpiderMan and X-Men graphic novel trade paperback collection. And I just own them all in single issue format. I've actually already read issue 1 and 2. I'm just going to reread them. I decided not to read the rest of the issues as they came out so much as buy them as they came out because I wanted to read it all together. I actually really like reading some things like all together at once. So I'm going to read all of these, and they will make up the only actually graphic novel collection. It was just like a 6-issue run, and that will count as one read, although I guess if I really wanted to I could count them all as separate reads. I'm just not going to. But as a hint for you guys, if you think that you're not going to make it to be able to read 7 books in 7 days, read an issue and count it as one of your things, because really you just have to read 7 things in 7 days. So, and more single issue comics. I have The Woods issue number 5, issue number 6, issue number 7, and issue number 8, which make up the Woods Volume 2 graphic novel. I plan on reading these 4 for sure. I loved the first 4 issues. They were so great. I loved the art a lot. I'm really, really liking the story. So I really want to dive back into it, and I just recently bought all these issues as back issues at my comic book store, so I'm really, really excited to get to them. And if I really, really like those 4 as much as I like the first 4, and if I have time, I will read issue number 9, issue number 10, issue number 11, and issue number 12, which make up The Woods Volume 3. So that is currently 8 things that I've shown you guys on my TBR for the 7 and 7 readathon, and I only actually have to read 7 of them, but I am also going to quickly show you a few other graphic novels that I want to get to if I have the time, or if maybe my mood changes and I don't want to read one of the things that I just showed you, I will read one of these things. AntMan Volume 1, Second Chance Man. I'm actually halfway through this, so I will actually probably read this during the readathon. I picked it up like a few days ago, and I'm really, really liking it. I was actually hoping to finish it before the readathon started, but I didn't, so I will probably be reading this tomorrow, actually. And this is so awesome. It's Scott Lang's story, which is the same character that was in the movie, if you've seen the movie, and I'm really, really liking it so far. Also, it's written by Nick Spencer, who writes Morning Glories. And I'm reading everything that Nick Spencer writes, so I'm really, really excited, and I'm really liking the writing so far, obviously. And the storyline, it's very quirky and sassy, very Spider-Man-like, which obviously you know that I love. So yes, this. Young Avengers Volume 1. Style Over Substance is what it's called. I've heard really, really good things about this. It is drawn by the same person who draws Wicked and the Divine, which I love. And yes, so hopefully I'll get this. Also, I've heard that this has really, really good LGBTQ content, which you guys know that I love. And if I have time or my mood changes, I will finally pick up Lock and Key Volume 3, which is called Crown of Shadows. I have avoided picking this up for a long time because I don't own Volume 4, and I'm concerned that once I pick this up, I'm going to want Volume 4 right away, and until I pick up Volume 4, I just don't really want to read this, but I may change my mind because I really, really liked Volume 1 and 2. And the last and final thing on my TBR is Shudder, which is a new Image comic by Joe Keating and Lila DeLuca. Oh, it's drawn by a girl. That's awesome. It is called Wanderlust, and I don't know if you guys can tell, but like that cat just looks so awesome and very like 90s cartoon-esque. I don't really know much about what this is about. I just picked it up because the first volumes of Image comics are pretty cheap generally, and I generally like all of them. Okay, so those are all of the things that I plan on reading during the 7 and 7 readathon. Chances are is I am not going to get to all of those things during this readathon. However, whatever I don't get to during this readathon, I'll likely just read during Booktubeathon, which happens right after 7 and 7 ends. What are you guys planning on reading for the readathon? I really hope you guys are planning on participating. Make sure to follow me, Frankie, and Dana on Twitter, as well as the 7 and 7 readathon Twitter, where we will be hosting Twitter sprints and challenges and like all the morale boosting tweets throughout the week. And other than that, I will see you guys soon with another video. Happy reading. Bye!